The bounty hunter's name was Zekthor, and across 17 star systems it was whispered with the kind of reverence reserved for death itself. His exoskeleton bore the scars of 1,000 hunts, each mark a testament to prey that had tried and failed to escape. He had tracked the lightning-fast Velkari through ion storms, cornered the shape-shifting Morphians in their own nests, and brought down a rogue Titanoid war chief with nothing but patience and precision. But he had never hunted a human. The contract came through the usual channels. 2 targets, Lisa Chen and Max Rodriguez, fugitives wanted for stealing classified Galactic Council data. The bounty was substantial enough to retire on. Zekthor's mandibles clicked in satisfaction as he reviewed their profiles. Humans. Fragile creatures with thin skin and weak bones. No natural armor, no venom, no camouflage. This would be the easiest bounty of his career. His research was thorough, as always. Humans came from a death world called Earth, where the gravity was punishing and the atmosphere corrosive to most species. They were persistence hunters, whatever that meant. Zekthor dismissed it. Every species had some evolutionary quirk. It meant nothing against superior firepower and centuries of hunting experience. He found them on Terminus 9, a mining colony on the edge of civilized space. They were exactly where the intelligence said they'd be, in a rundown maintenance facility near the southern excavation site. Zekthor positioned himself on a cargo container, his targeting system painting thermal signatures through the corrugated metal walls. 2 figures, humanoid, matching the biosignatures perfectly. Before he could take the shot, his comm unit crackled. It was Ralvik, another bounty hunter he occasionally worked with. Zekthor, I saw you took the human contract. Ralvik's voice carried an unusual tension. You need to abort. Trust me on this. Why would I abort an easy payday? Zekthor replied, keeping his weapon trained on the building. Because they're humans. I tried to collect on a human once. There was a pause. Listen to me very carefully. If they know you're coming, if they've had even an hour to prepare, you need to leave. You need to run. Zekthor's mandibles spread in what passed for a laugh among his kind. I've hunted for 73 cycles. I don't run from prey. They're not prey, Ralvik said urgently. Zekthor cut the connection. Sentiment and superstition. He'd heard stories about humans, of course. Every species had their myths. But myths didn't survive contact with reality, and reality was his 4-inch talons and a plasma rifle that could punch through starship hulls. He dropped from the container and approached the facility. The door was unlocked. Arrogant or stupid, these humans. The interior was dark, lit only by emergency strips along the floor. His thermal vision showed nothing, but he knew they were here. He tracked the heat signatures. We know you're out there, Zekthor, a female voice called out. Lisa. We got word an hour ago that you'd taken the contract. An hour. Ralvik's words echoed in his mind, but he pushed them aside. You should have kept running, Zekthor replied, moving deeper into the facility. There's nowhere in this galaxy you can hide from me. We're not hiding, a male voice responded. Max, we're just giving you a chance. A chance? Zekthor's targeting system swept the room. Still nothing on thermal. How are they masking their signatures? A chance to walk away, Lisa said. Her voice came from everywhere and nowhere. You've never hunted humans before. You don't understand what you're dealing with. I understand perfectly, Zekthor growled. Soft skin, fragile bones, no natural defenses. I've studied your species. Then you know about Earth, Max said quietly. You know what kind of world we come from. A high-gravity planet with a hostile environment. It means nothing. It means everything. Lisa's voice was closer now, though still invisible. Do you know what persistence hunting is, Zekthor? It's how our ancestors hunted on Earth. We didn't chase prey with speed. We just followed for hours, for days, until the prey collapsed from exhaustion, until their bodies gave out. We're not the fastest. We're not the strongest. But we never, ever stop. Zekthor fired at the sound, his plasma bolt illuminating the room for a fraction of a second. He saw them then, pressed flat against the ceiling, clinging to exposed pipes with nothing but grip strength and determination. They dropped as his shot passed beneath them. The lights came on, blinding his thermal vision. He switched to standard optics and found himself staring at 2 humans, unarmed, standing 15 feet away. Here's what's going to happen, Max said, rolling his shoulders. We're going to leave through that door. You're going to let us, because if you don't, we're going to show you what humans are really good at. And what's that? Zekthor raised his weapon. Improvising, Lisa said. What happened next would be difficult for Zekthor to explain later. In the medical bay where they reconstructed his shattered exoskeleton, the humans moved with a speed that shouldn't have been possible in standard gravity. They used the environment, turning every tool, every pipe, every piece of equipment into a weapon. When he fired, they were already somewhere else. When he lunged, they were inside his reach, exploiting every joint in his armor with a precision that spoke of rapid anatomical analysis. But it wasn't the physical combat that broke him. It was the endurance. Every time he thought they'd tire, they came back harder. Every time he landed a blow that should have incapacitated them, they got back up. Humans, he learned, had an absurd pain tolerance and a cardiovascular system designed for marathon persistence. 20 minutes into the fight, his weapon was gone, torn from his grip and disassembled. 30 minutes in, he was bleeding from a dozen fractures. 40 minutes in, he understood why Ralvik had warned him. Please, Zekthor rasped, collapsed against a wall. I yield. Lisa and Max stood over him, barely breathing hard despite the extended combat. They looked at each other, then back at him. The contract is void, Max said, tossing Zekthor's communicator back to him. Spread the word. Humans aren't easy prey. We're the species that turned a Deathworld into a garden. We're the species that looked at the food chain and decided we'd rather not participate. We're persistent, adaptable, and we never know when to quit. They left him there, walking out into the Terminus 9 night. Zekthor contacted Ralvik from the medical bay 3 days later. You tried to warn me, he said simply. I did, Ralvik replied. Did you learn? Yes. Zekthor watched the 2 human-shaped dots disappear from his long-range scanner. If you ever get a contract on a human again, what do? You run, Ralvik said. You run and you don't look back. Zekthor closed the connection and stared at his rehabilitation schedule. 73 cycles of hunting, and he'd finally found prey that hunted back. He'd finally met humans.